My name is Robert, and I'm about to tell you the most awkward conversation I've ever had with my mother-in-law. When she said those words to me, I literally froze in place, unable to process what I was hearing. Just once, and without protection, you can try it. Those exact words came out of my mother-in-law's mouth while we were alone in the house. But before you judge the situation, let me explain what actually happened, because the truth is nothing like what that title suggests. Let me start from the very beginning. My wife Amanda and I had been married for 4 years. Her mother, Patricia, was a sophisticated woman in her early 60s who had always been kind to me, though we'd never been particularly close. She was polite, proper, and always maintained appropriate boundaries, which is why what happened that Saturday afternoon was so shocking. Amanda had gone out for the day with her sister, some kind of spa day they'd been planning for months. Patricia had come over that morning to drop off some family photos she'd found while cleaning out her attic. The plan was for her to just drop them off and leave, but Amanda insisted she stay for lunch since she'd driven all the way across town. So there I was, alone in the house with my mother-in-law for the first time in 4 years of marriage. We made small talk over sandwiches, looked through the old photos, and everything was perfectly normal. Then Patricia asked if she could see our backyard garden. Amanda had been telling her about the vegetables we'd been growing. We walked outside, and I was showing her our tomato plants, the herbs, the small raised beds we'd built. Patricia was genuinely interested, asking questions about soil and watering schedules. Then she spotted something that made her stop in her tracks. "Robert, is that what I think it is?" She was pointing to the corner of our yard. I looked over and saw our trampoline. Nothing unusual, just a standard backyard trampoline we'd bought last summer. "Yeah, that's our trampoline. We got it for when Amanda's nephew visits." "Why?" Patricia's eyes lit up in a way I'd never seen before. "I haven't been on a trampoline in 40 years, not since I was in my 20s. "Oh, well, you're welcome to try it if you want," I said politely, not thinking much of it. "Really?" She looked at the trampoline with genuine longing. "I've been wanting to try one again for years, but I never have the opportunity. They say it's excellent exercise for older adults." "Sure, go ahead. It's perfectly safe. We have the safety net and everything." Patricia walked over to the trampoline, examining it carefully. Then she turned to me with a serious expression. "Robert, I have to ask you something, and please don't judge me. Can I try this just once and without the protection?" My brain short-circuited. Without the protection? Was my mother-in-law really asking me what I thought she was asking me? My face must have gone completely pale because she immediately continued. "The safety net, I mean. Can I try jumping without the safety net attached? I know it sounds silly, but when I was young, trampolines didn't have all these safety features. I want to experience it the way I remember it. Just the trampoline, nothing else. Just once. I promise I'll be careful." Relief flooded through me so fast I actually felt dizzy. The safety net. She was talking about the safety net. Oh, the net. Yes, of course. I'm not sure that's the safest idea, but if you're careful, I will be. I just want to feel that freedom again, just for a moment. No barriers, no restrictions, just the pure joy of jumping. Please, Robert. Your wife would never let me do this if she were here. She'd worry too much. But you understand, don't you? Sometimes you just want to try something the old-fashioned way, just once. This was the strangest conversation I'd ever had, but Patricia seemed so earnest, so excited about this. And she was right. If Amanda were here, she'd definitely say no. She was very safety conscious. "All right," I said slowly, "but I'm going to stand right here and spot you, just in case." "Fair enough." Patricia was already taking off her shoes. I unzipped the safety net and held it open for her. Patricia climbed onto the trampoline with surprising agility for someone her age. She stood in the center, testing the bounce a little, a huge smile spreading across her face. "Here goes nothing," she announced, and started bouncing. What happened next was both terrifying and hilarious. Patricia began jumping, carefully at first, then with increasing confidence. She was laughing like a child, her arms spread wide, her face full of pure joy. For a moment, everything was fine. Then she got a little too confident. Patricia attempted what I can only describe as some kind of jumping jack maneuver. Her coordination was not what it used to be. She landed off-center, bounced at a weird angle, and suddenly she was heading toward the edge of the trampoline. "Patricia!" I lunged forward, arms outstretched. Time seemed to slow down. Patricia was airborne, tumbling off the trampoline, and I was trying to position myself to catch her. We collided in a tangle of limbs, and we both went down onto the grass in a heap. For a moment, we just lay there, stunned. Then Patricia started laughing, not a polite chuckle, but a full belly laugh that shook her whole body. "Oh my God," she gasped between laughs. "Did you catch me? Did we just— oh, this is ridiculous." I was also starting to laugh, more from relief that she wasn't hurt than anything else. "Are you okay? Nothing broken?" "Just my dignity," she was still laughing, "and maybe I understand now why they invented the safety net." I helped her up, and we both sat on the grass, catching our breath. Patricia had grass stains on her pants, and her hair was a mess, but she was grinning ear to ear. "Promise me you won't tell Amanda about this," she said, trying to smooth down her hair. "Oh, I'm definitely telling Amanda about this," I replied. "This is too good not to share." Patricia groaned. "She's going to kill me, and then she's going to kill you for letting me do it." "Probably, but worth it?" She thought for a moment, then nodded. "Absolutely worth it. That 15 seconds of jumping before I nearly died was glorious." We went back inside, and Patricia tried to make herself presentable before Amanda got home. But when my wife walked in an hour later, she immediately knew something was up. "Why do you both look so guilty?" Amanda asked, looking between us suspiciously. Patricia and I glanced at each other. Then I decided honesty was the best policy. "Your mother wanted to jump on the trampoline without the safety net," I said. Amanda's eyes went wide. "She what?" "Just once," Patricia protested. "I wanted to try it the old-fashioned way, just once, without all that protection. Robert was a dear and let me try it. And she fell off," I added, "but I caught her." "You catch her? Mom, you could have broken something. And Robert, you let her do this?" "In my defense," I said, "she was very persuasive, and she said those words that made it sound really weird before she clarified." "What words?" "She asked if she could try it, just once, without the protection." There was a beat of silence, and then Amanda burst out laughing. "Oh my God, please tell me you thought she meant something else for just a second." My face went red. Maybe for like half a second before she said the safety net, and I realized she was talking about the trampoline. Patricia was also blushing now. I didn't realize how that sounded until after I said it. Poor Robert looked like he'd seen a ghost. "I bet he did." Amanda was still laughing. "Mom, you can't go around asking your son-in-law if you can try something without protection." "It was the safety net. I meant the safety net." "I know what you meant now," Amanda said, "but that's not what it sounded like." The three of us ended up laughing about it for the next hour. Patricia told the story from her perspective, how she'd been so excited about the trampoline that she hadn't thought about her word choice. I told it from mine, the momentary panic before understanding what she actually meant. The best part, I said, was after she clarified, when she gave this whole speech about wanting to experience it the old-fashioned way, with no barriers or restrictions, just pure freedom. "I was talking about trampolining," Patricia insisted through her laughter. "I know, but it still sounded so weird." Amanda shook her head, still grinning. "I can't believe you let my 63-year-old mother jump on a trampoline without the safety net." She was very insistent. "And it was worth it," Patricia added stubbornly, "even though I fell off." "Because Robert caught you." "Barely caught me," I corrected. "It was more like I broke her fall with my body." "My hero," Patricia said with mock dramatics, which set us all off laughing again. The story became legendary in our family. At every gathering, someone would inevitably bring up the time Patricia asked her son-in-law if she could try it just once, without protection, and then proceeded to fall off a trampoline. Amanda's sister Sarah found it hilarious. "Mom, you're 63 years old. You can't be jumping on trampolines without safety nets." "I can do whatever I want," Patricia replied with dignity. "Age is just a number. Age is a number that could have broken a hip. But it didn't, thanks to Robert." "Barely caught me," I corrected. "It was more like I broke her fall with my body." "My hero," Patricia said with mock dramatics, which set us all off laughing again. The story became legendary in our family. At every gathering, someone would inevitably bring up the time Patricia asked her son-in-law if she could try it just once without protection and then proceeded to fall off a trampoline. Amanda's sister Sarah found it hilarious. "Mom, you're 63 years old. You can't be jumping on trampolines without safety nets." "I can do whatever I want," Patricia replied with dignity. "Age is just a number. Age is a number that could have broken a hip. But it didn't, thanks to Robert." I became the hero of the story, the dutiful son-in-law who both enabled his mother-in-law's reckless behavior and then saved her from its consequences. Patricia bought me a nice bottle of wine as a thank you gift, with a card that read, "For catching me when I fall, both literally and metaphorically." The trampoline, ironically, became Patricia's new favorite thing. She started coming over regularly to exercise on it, always with the safety net properly attached after that first incident. She even bought a mini trampoline for her own apartment after she discovered that, yes, it really was excellent exercise for older adults. "I'm not trying it without protection this time," she announced when she showed us her new purchase. "Thank God for that," Amanda muttered. "I've learned my lesson," Patricia said with dignity. "Safety first, even if it's not as thrilling." 6 months later, at Patricia's birthday party, Amanda gave a speech about her mother's adventurous spirit. She told the whole trampoline story to everyone present, including the part about the unfortunate phrasing. "And that's when my mother, standing in our backyard, asked my husband if she could try it just once without protection," Amanda said with perfect comedic timing. There was a collective gasp from the audience, followed by laughter when she clarified, "The safety net. She meant the safety net on the trampoline." Patricia stood up and took a bow. "I've learned to be more careful with my word choice since then, though I maintain that trampolining without a safety net is an exhilarating experience that everyone should try at least once." "While someone spots you," I added quickly. "While someone spots you," she agreed. Years later, that moment remains one of my favorite memories with my mother-in-law. Not because of the awkward phrasing, though that was memorable, but because it was the day Patricia stopped being just Amanda's mom and became a real person to me. Someone who still wanted to feel young and free, who would take silly risks for a moment of joy, who could laugh at herself when things went wrong. Sometimes now, when Patricia visits, she'll look at the trampoline and say, "Remember when I asked if I could try it without protection?" And we'll all groan and laugh, because yes, we remember. We all remember. And sometimes I think about that moment of panic when I first heard those words, before I understood what she meant, how my brain went to the worst possible place for just a split second. And then I think about what actually happened. A 63-year-old woman wanting to feel young again, jumping on a trampoline with pure joy on her face, right up until she fell off, and her son-in-law caught her. It's funny how life works out sometimes. The most scandalous-sounding situations often turn out to be the most innocent. My mother-in-law did ask me if she could try something just once without protection, but she was talking about a trampoline safety net, not anything else. And honestly, I'm glad she asked. I'm glad I said yes. And I'm especially glad I was there to catch her when she fell. Because that's what family does. We catch each other, even when we're falling off trampolines we had no business being on in the first place.